Hello. Hello, everyone. Happy Thursday. Thank you guys for joining us. Or maybe if you're watching on the replay later, thank you for being here. My name is Dr. Stacy. This is Dr. Mel.
I'm on mute. Hi.
Hey. So we thank you guys for being here this afternoon or this evening, or maybe even the morning, depending on what time zone you're in. But we wanted to utilize this time in this space to be able to answer questions that you had, share information with you, and make sure that your needs are met and whatever that may look like. So we have utilized a couple different options. We have the chat up. So if you see the chat, it's at the bottom, it's a little chat box, and you can type questions in there. You can definitely raise your hand. You know how to raise your hand on your little thing, or you can just unmute yourself if you have a question, and feel free to ask it openly as well too. So that's what we want to use the next 30 minutes or so for. So whoever wants to get started, feel free, go ahead. I'm just going to continue to be admitting some people that are coming in, but feel free to ask your questions. And if you're watching this in the page, you can type your questions below. Mel, do you care to monitor that if somebody has a question below the chat? Awesome. Okay, who wants to go first with a question?
I would like Dr. Mel to take a few moments to talk about the energy enhancer patch. Because I clearly missed that when I was reviewing everything, and I just want to get a quick snippet of that again.
Sure, I would love to. It's actually my favorite patch. So basically what it does is that it turns fat into fuel. It gives you a sustained energy for 24 whole hours. You know, you can burn anywhere between 300 to 600 calories. So people don't need to drink as much coffee or any type of caffeinated stuff when they are on energy enhancer. But the beauty of it when it comes from a practitioner point of view is that it works on the lymphatic system. We know we are having a toxin overload at the moment with all the chemicals that are in our environment. We're constantly getting these toxins. So it's really good to take care of our lymphatic system and to drain as many toxins as we can. And this is exactly what it does. So a lot of times, like if some people even have, you know, we have a glymphatic system in our brain. So you can even put the patches right here and it drains any type of toxins that's in the mental or brain region. Like that's why people are having brain fog or ADHD or ADD or anything like that. So you can even place them there. It doesn't show it in the booklet, but you know, anywhere that needs that lymphatic drainage, put it on. And yeah, it's an amazing patch.
Did that answer your question, Danielle, or was that a good enough explanation for you, or do you have more questions?
No, that was wonderful. Thank you. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you for your question. Who else has a question? You can, if you're just joining us, you can type it in the chat, or you can just unmute yourself and ask.
Hello, this is Hilda. I'm new. I don't know about the product at all. So does this patch that you just talked about have caffeine in it?
Oh, that's a great question. Mel?
No, this is a non-transdermal patch. So it's probably good to give a tiny overview for those of us that are new here. It looks like this. It's a little round white Band-Aid that you can just take it off, you know, stick it on your body for 12 hours. Inside the patch, there's nothing, you know, it's nothing transdermal. It's a proprietary blend of organic amino acids, salt, and sugar that forms a crystal lattice structure. So when our body's light, and we know we're light because we're emitting light, we can see it through bioresonance scans. And also when we go out with a night vision goggle, when our body's light hits it, it's like a mirror. So our body's light hits this patch and reflects back a signal to activate our GHK-Cu, copper peptide. When that happens, it increases our own body stem cell production. This is huge because, as we know, stem cells can be controversial and they're very costly. They're like $10,000, $25,000, and it's controversial. And most of us are having inflammation. So inflammation likes to eat stem cells. By putting this on, and we utilize like an AON patch to reduce inflammation, you're able to basically within every 6 months to reverse your age by 8 years, your cellular age. And we know stem cells are pluripotent, so they go to areas that need the healing and the regeneration and repair. So if your liver needs the repair, it's going to become liver cells. If your pancreas needs it, it's going to become pancreas cells. So there is a lot of research done on this. There's over 90 clinical studies that are patented. You can visit all the clinical studies in startx39.com. It gets you access to all of that. And yeah, we have about 14 patches that everything does different thing. It all signals different peptides in our body to basically open up different pathways or to activate different pathways.
And back to the caffeine, Hilda, there is no caffeine in the patch. There's nothing in any of the patches, and we can talk about the different ones. So there's no substance going into the body. So the energy is, because of the patch being a light technology, the technology is signaling the body on the energy enhancer to turn its own fat into fuel. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm all about turning fat into fuel, right? And so any extra, like Mel always says, she's like, it's a free meal every day. I get one free meal because it burns an extra 300 to 600 calories. But nothing is going into the body within the patches. A transdermal patch is like a nicotine patch or birth control or estrogen patch. This is non-transdermal, which means when you apply it to the body, our body's light, like Mel said, reflects back a signal from that crystalline lattice. And that signal is going to, with this patch, the X39, signal the body to increase its stem cell production through the pathway of GHK-Cu copper peptide, but each patch signals different peptides, different pathways in the body that are already there. So hopefully that answers your question on the caffeine, but a lot of people want to know if it has what's in it, what's the stuff that's in it that's doing it, right?
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for your question. Who else has a question you'd like to ask?
I have one. So I'm brand new to it, and my sister-in-law had a ACL repair, and she was walking around with pain. And so we ordered a bunch of different things for her. And one of the things we ordered was ice patch, and it literally worked in 10 seconds. And then she looked at me and said, "Why is that?" And I'm like, "I don't know, but it's really good." So it absolutely did work. I just don't understand the science behind something like an ice patch.
Yeah, so let me explain what that is. So LifeWave is the name of the patch, and it's a dual patch system. And that, would you have one in front of you, Mel? Or do you have any? If not, I can. Or Brent's coming. Brent, grab my bag real quick, please. I have my patches in it. So the LifeWave has two patches. It has a white patch and a tan patch. Thank you. My Vanna. A white patch and a tan patch, and they work with the polarity of the body. Okay, so this is what it looks like, LifeWave. And so you will see white and tan. We have a negative side to our body and a positive side, right? So white and tan. So this is just LifeWave. LifeWave and Energy Enhancer are the only two patches that have a dual patch system. Everything else is single individual patch, okay? But here's how it works, Linda, okay? So white, right, tan, left. All right, so on your screen, that probably looks opposite, but the white patch goes on the right side of the body. So let's just say it's the right ACL that was in pain. You put the white patch on the spot that is hurting on that right knee. You go to the left knee, and you stick the tan patch on that left knee where the spot is hurting on the right, okay? Corresponding location, okay? Does that make sense? So say your neck hurts right here. You stick the white one here, you stick the tan one here. Gets rid of the pain right here, okay? Say it is my left shoulder that hurts, that I'm gonna put this is where my pain spot is. I'm going on the left. I'll come over here. I'll go on the right. So see how it's on the opposite side of the body? It doesn't matter if the pain's on the right or the left. If the pain's on the left, pick the tan one, stick it on it. If the pain's on the right, pick the white one, stick it on it, and then go to the opposite side of the body. Like for my husband, he shattered his talus bone 30 years ago. So sometimes when he plays golf, it hurts because he's walking the course, right? You can only do so much on a golf cart. And so he'll come back and he'll say, my ankle is smoked. I feel like a chainsaw just chopped it off. And so I will put, it's on his left ankle. I'll put the tan one on the pain on the left ankle, the white one on the right. And in seconds, the pain is gone. So how is this happening? It's working with the polarity of the body to open up energy channels in the body. Pain is a stuck energy, right? And so it opens up the energy channels. So for example, I had somebody that was at the event, we scanned with the BioWell, and she was having pain more so in her arms and her hands and her wrist, but the scan was showing something mid-back, energy, a break in the energy on the BioWell. And so I stuck underneath her bra, a white on the right of her spine and the tan on the left, more towards the side flank areas. And the pain in her hands went away. And she's like, I can feel this huge rush of energy up and down my whole entire back, because it released whatever was back there that we could see on the scan. And then the pain in her wrists completely went away. And so it works with the polarity to open up the energy. So there's nothing going in again, but it's working with the body's own energetic system on basically, the cellular level, right? Opening up those channels.
So just to be clear, because one of the pictures I was looking at on the back of the LifeWave, it had it like, one on the top and one on the bottom, and it wasn't really right or left. And so I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, so there are different ways that you can use the LifeWave. If you go to YouTube and you type in LifeWave, David Schmidt, you'll see him talk about many different ways to apply this. He has the clockwise method. He'll say, stick one here and move it around until you get rid of the pain in that spot. Just keep moving, right? Or try it up here or try it down there. I don't personally do all that because it confuses me. So I just stay white, right, tan, left, because that's what he told us in the beginning. This is working with the polarity of the body, and it works every time for people. So I haven't had it not work, but you can play around with them. If you really want to get technical, you can move them around in different locations. I just don't do that.
Okay, great. Thank you.
I will share this with you. The LifeWave will get rid of the pain, but it doesn't get to the root of the problem. And so that's why it's really important to look at the Eon, like Mel mentioned, that reduces inflammation, which we know is the root, right? Root of many of the causes of the disease in the body, and the stem cell activation patch to go in and repair and regenerate those areas. Stem cells will repair. They will regenerate the tissues and the cells and the organs. Whatever is going on in her knees, we can't say that it's going to heal or cure it, right? Absolutely not. But we can say that we have lots of testimonials of people that we can share with you that have shared their personal experience testimonials with their x-rays and their ultrasounds and their scans, using the X39 and the Eon to regenerate the body, to reduce that inflammation, and using the LifeWave to get rid of the pain. Because if you're in pain, you're suffering, right? You're not having the better quality of life. And so this can get rid of it right now much more effectively and better for you than an Advil or a Loratab or something like that with no side effects. But we want to help you get to the root of the problem. And that's going to be where you look at the X39 and the Eon.
Yeah, and she is on all of those too. She's on those other two that you mentioned. Yeah. Thank you for your help on that.
Yes. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for your question. Hang on one second, Izzy. Somebody asked, Beta asked, is it safe for pregnant women, and is there an age restriction? So David has not done any clinical studies on pregnant women or children. Okay, so we can't say that, yes, 100%, if you are pregnant or nursing or have a child, that you can use this on your children. Legally, absolutely not. Now, I had a daughter that was nonverbal and was not able to communicate at all, right? I've been in a wheelchair for 15 years. And so made a choice as a parent to utilize the patch on her. And we saw massive results in her actually being able to communicate with us, and physically things changed, and hormones changed. A lot of things changed with her in the course of the year using these patches. I have many clients that utilize the patches with their children that are, on the spectrum, and many different disabilities and issues that children have, dealt with. And so that's a personal choice. David always has said, if they can communicate with you, then absolutely, probably 2-3 years of age. Sometimes kids can't communicate. And so that's a personal choice as a parent, right? as with anything, it's a personal choice to take your children through McDonald's drive-through as a parent. So we have to make those choices, and, you know, making educated choices, of course, is the best thing to do. Have I patched pregnant women on their demand? Yes, I have, but I'm not going to say that's something you should definitely go do. But if someone has asked me, which I have had many people here locally that have said, put the LifeWave on me, put the Eon on me, I'm in pain, my back's killing me. Then yeah, okay, great. It's your choice, right? So people can do whatever they decide to do. There's nothing going into the body. So there's nothing that could harm the person in any way, because there are no chemicals, there are no substances. So there's not any contraindications with anything that you're doing or using or consuming, right? So just want to make sure you understood. It's definitely not something we're saying, yes, go patch the pregnant women of the world, or the children of the world. But I wouldn't recommend giving a child a Flintstones vitamin, but sometimes that's what happens too, right? So we just have to make those educated decisions. So Izzy, go ahead and unmute yourself. I'd love to hear your question. Still muted, hang on.
That's it. I have a question with the replacing the patches. Placing the patches, do you have to use those plastic balls, or you can do it without? This is a question that...
You have the little ball inside, right? You're talking
Yes.
about the little bitty round plastic. Okay.
That's it, yes.
All right. So Izzy, remind me the country you're in again.
What's that again? Sorry?
What country again are you in?
Australia, Sydney.
That's what I thought.
Sydney, Australia.
Yes, Sydney. Yes, I thought so. So different countries put these, I don't have a package with me right now, but it looks like a little bitty round tiny
Yes.
ball,
I
clear.
remember them from years ago, 15
Yes.
years ago. We were using them, but I
Yes.
forgot a lot about it, because I didn't use it for over 12 years.
Yes. So we have those in the United States for our horses in the AccuLife, which is identical to the IceWave. It's called AccuLife.
Yes.
It's for horses.
Yes.
And we have
yes.
those little balls because they will put more pressure onto the acupressure points that are
Yes.
that they're being applied to.
Yes, I
And
understand
so,
that. Yes.
Yeah. So like in Thailand, one of Dr. Mel's brand new doctors, Dr. J, he got his X39 in, the stem cell activation patch, and he's like, what are these little balls? And I'm like, oh, we have those for horses. But different countries have the product regulated in different ways.
Okay.
So it's because of the regulations per country that they include, like, I think 10 of those little plastic balls in there. So what you do is you would take this, you don't have to use it. So the answer is no.
No, I understand
You
that.
don't.
Yeah.
But you would put it in the center here in the little white part.
Yeah, you just stick it on the center and then put it on. I
But
did
it's
it yesterday.
reusable. It's reusable, yes. So you would
I
save
want
the
to give you,
ball.
I want to give you some feedback also from
Yes.
one of my friends
Yes.
that I put the X39 on him yesterday morning.
Mhm.
And I said, just see what's happened to your body, because he knows his body and everything. And he said during the day, he was, not feeling tired or anything, but he noticed significant changes when he got 1 acre, like that he's looking after, and he cut the grass. Usually he get very tired
Mhm.
and achy. And he said yesterday, nothing. He said they're working fantastic.
Wow.
And that's just the feedback for you.
Wow.
It's amazing.
Thank you.
But
for sharing.
I am more interested in the X39 and also the IceWave.
Yeah.
The IceWave, I want to understand now, because I want to help people with knee
Mhm.
joint pain,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
I remember 15 years ago, we used to put it on both sides of the knee,
Yes.
the
That's
brown
not-
and the
Mhm.
and the opposite. Or if you have both knees pain, do you put 4, or can you put just one on one side and one on the other side?
That's a great question, because we have a lot of people that have bone on bone with both knees, right? So
Yeah.
you can use 2 sets at the same time. Most times with people, 99% of the time, 1 set works perfectly fine. But
One
you
set,
can-
which means we put on the right the white one, on the left the brown one,
Yeah,
and that's it.
correct.
Not on the inside of the of the knees.
Correct.
Okay.
But I also always recommend X39 and Eon at the same time you're using the LifeWave, of course. And I
Okay.
do have people that apply the LifeWave or the X39 and Eon on the location of pain. So if it's the knees, they can do that as well.
Okay, with the X39, from your feedback, because you've been doing it for a while, where is the best position? The top of the back or under the belly button?
So I like the back of
Where
the
is
neck.
more beneficial?
I like the back of the neck because I like that it's
Yes.
right there by the brain where all the brain stem, where all the nerves are, and the
That's right.
communication is going like this, right? And this, we know this
Where
is
the nerve starts, yes.
Yes. So based on the clinical studies, below the belly button or the back of the neck are where the studies have been done. But
Yes.
I will tell you, I have used the patch on different people in different places. My son, for example, when he split his lip wide open in basketball and needed stitches, we put X39s and Eons right here around his face for an entire week, and everything was completely gone and healed. When he sprained his ankle earlier this year in basketball, I put it directly, those patches directly on his ankle. I didn't put them on the back of the neck. I put them on the actual location. He should have been on crutches for at least a week to 2 weeks. And at 24 hours, he was off. 7 days later, he was on the court. He was dunking 2 weeks later. So using it on the location can definitely be done, but it doesn't have to. I like the communication here, but
Yes.
some people, I'll tell you this, some people, and especially in our community, are a little bit sensitive, right? Or maybe a lot sensitive to the energies and the feelings. And some people feel like it's a little bit too much energetic for them up here. I
Okay.
don't. I love it on the back of my neck, but I always just tell them, if you feel like it's a little bit too much energetic wise, then put it down below, put it below your belly button.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. Great question. Oh, awesome. Yeah. Dr. Mel said glutathione is incredible for joints. It is huge for joints. So if you have someone with arthritis, joint issues, anything like that, glutathione just coats it all.
Yes. By the way, when you were talking about where you put it, like on the ankle and all that, I got a guy that renting a room here in our practice, and he's using leech therapy for that. And the enzyme that go from the leech therapy actually is the most important than just sucking the blood. He can get someone that need 6 weeks with a boot if they injured their ankle. In 3 days, you get them walking.
Wow.
It's amazing.
If you can handle it.
Oh yeah, some people can't.
I don't know that I could.
That's true.
I love it. That's awesome. Thank you for sharing that. All right, Linda.
Anyhow, I got to go because I got an appointment at 9:30 here in the morning. And thank you again. Thank you, everyone.
thank
nice
you for
meeting
being
you
here,
all.
Izzy.
Thank you for
so
coming.
much.
Bye.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, Linda, what question do you have?
So at night I put the Alavita on that spot in my neck, and then in the morning, is it okay to put because you replace them? Is it okay to put the X39 there in the same spot, or do I need to give it a rest?
You don't have to. So
Okay.
why did you choose behind the neck for Alavita? Just asking.
I think it was just in the packet.
So you picked that spot versus below the belly button?
Yeah.
Yeah. So try it on this part right here, that third eye area. Try your Alavita there at night and report back and tell me what you notice.
Okay, very good. I've taken pre-pictures just in case.
So
That was a great thing.
I have women that are actually using the Alavita on like the lines, the different lines on their face. And they're like, okay, I need 12 of them because when I wake up in the morning, the line's gone.
Ah.
Yeah.
So can you put more than one Alavita on your face at a time?
Yeah, you can.
Oh my God. If my mom hears this Zoom, I'm going to be in big trouble. She's going to raid my closet of aloe vera.
Yes.
Yeah. So I
Rightfully
have a
so.
lady, I mean, you're not 72, but I have a lady that's 72 that uses 3 on her face every night.
Okay.
She doesn't look a day over 50.
Wow.
Nice.
3 X39s, 3 Eons during the day, and then she uses 3 Alavitas at night.
Wow. Okay. That's interesting. I didn't even know that was an
Her
option.
name's Susan Allen. Go to her YouTube channel. She looks incredible. She does interviews with different people with LifeWave all the time. She's out in California, but man, when she's like, I'm 72, I'm like, there's no way you're 72. She interviewed me last year and I'm like, she said, yeah, what happened? She said, I could see it from here. It started here and it went down. And she said, it was just like, it went down my face over the course of months, all the wrinkles and everything. And she goes, it did the same thing with my body. It came up. She said, my calves started looking younger. Then my thighs looked younger. And then all of a sudden my stomach, and she goes, then it like kind of stopped in the middle. My belly button looked terrific. And then it kind of kept going up. She's like, I'm waiting for it to get like right in here, but she's like, I'm 72. I don't know if there's any hope, but her face looks incredible.
Oh, that's good. I'll check that out. Thank you.
You're welcome. What other questions do you guys have?
Has anyone had any skin reactions when they're new at putting the patches on, just like a little bit of itching, like there's a reaction?
That's a great question. So, we're all different with that. And we know skin is our largest organ. And we know sometimes people detox through the skin, right? So sometimes you do see that. I'll tell you with my daughter personally, when I would take the patch off, there would be a little red ring. I would pull it off and she'd have a little red ring. By the time she woke up in the morning, it was gone. Obviously, I'd stick another patch on her, send her off to school. But I noticed after about 3 months, there were no more little red rings. So that was just her personally. Sometimes people do notice a little bit. I think the studies show like 1 in 10,000 people may have some type of maybe a little bit of a redness or something like that. If you notice it, just move the patch to a different spot. That's all you need to do. But as far as, the skin is, we're all different, but it's a 3M hyperallergenic patch.
Yeah.
So there's not going to be anything on it. It's not latex. There's nothing on it that's harmful at all either.
Okay. Between the neck and the stomach for the X39, where's another good spot?
Besides the governing meridian, you can really put it on anywhere you want to. Because it's working systemically, signaling the body through the pathway of GHKCU. It can go anywhere because the body, it's communicating no matter what with that pathway. But as far as we just stick with the clinical studies and, the instruction booklets that come in, of course, with each patch are going to show using the meridians, the different acupuncture meridians, but you can put it anywhere you want. If you want to put it on the top of your big toe, you can put it there.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
My toenails are pretty thick.
Well, I meant, how sometimes people have, arthritis in their joints or whatever. I have people that go around and they'll literally have a patch, wrapped on a joint or something to alleviate that. I've had people literally in days shrink down their, how the joints kind of become bigger as you age.
Yes.
Sometimes. Yeah. That's a great question. Who else has a question?
In Facebook, someone's asking, can we shower when we are using the patch?
Yeah, absolutely. So the patches were actually designed 17 years ago by David Schmidt for the Navy SEALs. And so they absolutely can be used in the water. They went on from there to the USA Olympic team, swim team, the Stanford swim team. And so they're still used today with athletes and, professionals in the sports arena all over the globe. Last year at Wimbledon, Michael Phelps with the Olympians swimming and stuff like that. So yeah, they can definitely be used in the shower or swimming. If it does happen to come off for some reason, because all of our skin is different, mine, I literally have to almost dig them off. It's like they don't want to come off of my body. I'm like digging my fingernail in underneath. If they do happen to come off, then you can just put it back on with a Band-Aid. I met with a lady at Starbucks yesterday, Ildiko, and she said, mine came off back here this morning. She had white tape. She had taped it back on, and she was having hot flashes, and her hair was a mess and sweating. I'm like, you may be sweating quite a bit back there with all that thick hair. She's like, I taped it back on. It's perfectly fine. So she had white tape on the back of her neck yesterday. So if that does happen, you can tape it back on or try a different spot. Yeah. What other questions do you guys have?
Yeah, I have a question. My name is Kenny. I'm living in Chicago.
Hello. What question
Hello.
do you have?
Yeah, actually, we know this time we have a lot of neuro damage to different people in the world. So do you think which kind of patch can you use to someone who have a neuro damage?
Did you say neuro damage?
Yes.
Neuro damage. So damage with like neurologically in the brain or with the nerves?
Like you can found in different way, the nerves, you can found there is no firing in the toes, in the hands, in different areas.
Okay.
So,
just want to make sure I'm understanding correctly. So neurological damage, can the patches help?
Yes.
So yes, the X39, the stem cell activation patch, absolutely is going to repair and regenerate everything in the body, including the nerves. We know nerves take a lot longer to repair and regenerate, right? We do know that. So don't, set that expectation up to be, 30 days and I no longer have neurological damage. It's going to take longer for that to happen, just because we see that in the body. Eon definitely with the reducing the inflammation in the body will help. We see a lot of benefit from using LifeWave as well to open up the energy channels to help with that. But also carnosine. Carnosine is an antioxidant. And so carnosine really likes to hang out in the skeletal system, the muscular system, specifically the heart, and it loves to be in the brain. And so it does work with improving cognition, balancing left brain, right brain hemisphere, communication. And we see a lot of improvements neurologically with people using that combination of the X39, Eon, and carnosine.
Okay, let us see, for example, someone who have a brain injury, for example, either naturally or accident. For example, someone who have because when you have a brain injury, you can experience a seizure or epilepsy. So how that patch can help someone who get epilepsy because of injury or natural born?
Right. So we don't have clinical studies with people with epilepsy. So we can't say this is going to do this, this, and this for someone with epileptic seizures. But we can show through the clinical studies, if you go to, Mel, could you type it in the chat, startx39.com, you can see that David has done studies on the brain. There are different scans, neurofeedback, and EEGs and things like that, where there are clinical studies showing the effectiveness of using the patch on the brain. But as far as personal testimonials from people, we have a Telegram channel that we have over 2,000 recorded testimonials of people talking about having strokes and having seizures and many different neurological conditions and issues that we can pull those up and share those with you as well, what people are personally saying that they have experienced from using the patches. So can it help people with seizures? Is it safe? Of course, consult with your physician. If you have any concerns, if you have any medical issues or you're on any type of medications, we're definitely not saying it's going to treat or cure anything at all. But we have heard many people successfully using the patches to improve their brain abilities and functionalities and to be able to I've just heard people not have seizures anymore. I've honestly heard that every single night at 9 p.m. Eastern, we have literally for the last 2.5 years, we have people that come on at 9 p.m. Eastern and share their personal testimonials. 2 people every single night, Monday through Thursday at 9 Eastern. And so we have all of those recorded in a database where someone has dictated what is being said so we can type, search keywords and stuff. So we can share that with you. We're happy to share those with you, right? And see what you feel would be best. But we definitely know that the stem cell activation patch is going to help all areas of the body because the body knows how to heal itself, and the patch helps the body get back into balance. It helps it get back into that homeostasis. So I feel that would be very beneficial for anybody and everybody, any type of situation, right?
So Stacy, we have a question in Facebook too before we answer the questions in the chat. Donna says she has a major pain in her middle finger on her right hand. Can a patch go on it?
Yes.
Middle finger on the right hand. Yeah.
Sure. Absolutely.
Which one do you recommend?
For pain?
Yeah. Major pain.
She can use LifeWave. She can use Eon, or she could use the X39. Or all the above.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Okay, there are a couple questions in the chat here too. Would you wear the carnosine at night? Carnosine can be worn day or night. It's totally up to you. Whatever you want to do depends on, maybe you may have 5 patches on during the day and you're like, I just need a break. I'm going to put the carnosine and Alavita on at night. You can do that. But you can also wear it during the day. Does the patches help with neuropathy? Yes. So there's a Dr. Peavy, chiropractor, 40 years, that I interviewed a few months ago. And he specifically has a practice that works with clients with neuropathy. And I would love for you to look him up, Joanne, in the Telegram, and I can look for that too a little bit later if you can't find it. But he did an incredible, I interviewed him on that Patching Podcast Zoom, and he talked about clients with 70, 80, 85% neuropathy. You know, typically he's not even going to work with them because he's not going to be able to help them. And he's been doing this for almost 40 years. And he said he found with the patches using the X39 glutathione and carnosine, but using the LifeWave at the lower back to like break that energy channel and move things through. He said he's had people even in the 80, 85% category be able to walk and have more functionality and less pain. So he was blown away. It's incredible. But yes, absolutely for neuropathy. Shingles, yep, absolutely. Definitely, again, X39 Eon, glutathione, carnosine. I'll have to look in the book. I don't know if there's a protocol. I don't know that I've seen one. I just know those are the 4 patches. And then as far as the 9 p.m. Eastern, Danielle, I will type in the Zoom number. You can go to zoom.us. It's 379-717-7845. And or if you need the link, then we can send you the link as well too. But you just go to zoom.us or go to the app on your phone and click join and put in the number. But tonight I will be interviewing at 9 p.m. Eastern 2 people, a man in his 80s that has had major arthritis, neck pain, rotator cuff, not able to move it. That was gone in the first few months, and then has been dealing with leukemia. And he's going to talk about his journey with his doctor and what his doctor has said and what he's noticing in his blood work and things like that from using the patch. And then I also have a lady that's been using the patch for a year that has been dealing for 7 years with non-Hodgkin's vesicular lymphoma. And she's going to come on and talk about what she used, and within 45 days, how she went from 6 months, every 6 month scans, blood work, full-blown cancer, managing it, to we no longer need to see you. See you next year. Don't know what's different, but don't stop doing it because you look perfect. So not to mention the fact that she looks incredible. She's had massive improvements in her breast tissue from her mammograms, and just, across the board, many health benefits over the last year. So I'll interview those 2 tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern. That is an open Zoom. It's live and it's recorded. There's usually about 250 plus people on there, but it'll just be myself and one of my business partners, Laura. We will interview the 2 people and then share the science and technology of how this works. It's 30 minutes only. So Candace, did you have a question?
Yeah, I have a question.
Okay.
So how have the patches helped with people experiencing adverse reactions due to the immunization shot for COVID?
Yeah, lots of that. So David has private clinical studies that we're not sharing or publishing. I'll share that with you guys in this group. I actually was able to be on one of these Zooms for the pilot clinical study with Dr. Brian Daly. He's an MD, you can Google him, and David. They collaborate together doing research with people that have received the vaccine using nutritional microscopy to look at their blood work and all the markers of what's going on from that. And basically what Brian ended up saying, Dr. Daly said, was the X39, the Eon, and the glutathione with high doses of vitamin C and vitamin D. Obviously quality sources, right, of D and C, but using that protocol to help the body to eliminate, to detox that, reduce and repair. And in my personal experiences with clients, obviously not myself, but with clients, I've had people even paralyzed from the vaccination and be able to walk again. So definitely I've seen huge benefits using those 3 patches. I also like to use energy enhancer with my clients because energy enhancer is turning over the lymphatic system. And so when you can turn over the lymphatic system, you can turn over the toxins, right? Get rid of that toxin load and get that out of the body faster. And so and of course they're typically very lethargic as it is after, an injury like that. They really, a lot of people have long haulers and, they just can't get things going again. And so the energy enhancer really pops them back up quickly as well too.
Yeah, a lot of fatigue.
Lots. Yeah. Great question. All right. Any other questions you guys have?
I have a question in the chat on Facebook. Pan is saying, my brother has hair loss issues. Where and what patches should he use?
Yeah, perfect. So forever it was X39. X39 does great with growing hair. It's fantastic for turning your hair back to the color it was supposed to be, unless you get your hair colored like I do. So then I have to go more often. But we do have clinical studies here recently from David's most recent patch, and it's called X49. So X39 signals the pathway of GHK-Cu copper peptide. X49 signals a daughter peptide of AHK-Cu. Okay. And so when you use these two synergistically together, and on a non-specific acupuncture meridians, okay, but when you use the two together, he found, and of course you can't say this out loud, so don't repeat this, right, you guys, all 350 of you. The clinical studies showed that it was more powerful, more effective in growing hair than minoxidil. Seriously. So hair growth, I know myself, the first 6 weeks I used the X39-49 combo, I had new hair growth this long in 6 weeks. I always put my hair back in like a headband when I'm putting my makeup on, and I had all these hairs coming out, baby hairs long, and I took a picture of them. I'm like, what is this? My hair's not breaking. My hairdresser says my hair's thicker and fuller than it's ever been. And it dawned on me that I've been using the X49. I have new hair growth. So the X49-39 combo for hair growth, rapid hair growth, especially for people with long haulers that have lost their hair, will help them get that back, thicker, longer hair faster. And even ones that don't have hair, it will help grow it. But also know that combo, just to mention this. So the X49 is designed, yes, every single day, it was created, David invented it for fitness and endurance and stamina, bicep strength, grip strength. You know how important grip strength is as you age? It's vitally important, right? You need to be able to take the top of a bottle, a healthy bottle of water, okay? Just know it's not, toxic water. But as you age, that's one of the first things people notice. But being able to increase your bicep strength, your squats, right? That's your quads are big muscles that you need. And of course, for stamina, endurance, and energy. But what he also found, not only did that combination increase that, but it increased it even some of 70, 80 to 100+% over a 2-month period. It also reduced body fat by 11% over that same time period. So it's building lean muscle, eliminating fat. And it's obviously growing hair. It's great for the heart, the brain, but it was also fantastic in blocking EMFs. So he has studies that show the brain, cell phone radiation, toxins, EMFs, and just a matter of minutes later, doing the same scans to be able to block EMFs, right? So that was pretty.
It's a perfect patch.
Oh, right.
It does everything.
I can get thin, I can get strong, I can have long hair, and I have no EMFs affecting my body. My heart's great, my brain's great. I'm using X39, X49 every single day.
So you're trying to explain that people who has like a bald hair, they don't have a hair or gray hair, can reverse that by using the X39?
Yeah, so using the X39, X49 combo, it will turn your hair back to dark. I'm gonna grab a couple pictures here to show you real quick of my friend Gary. Look, this is just from the other day. So Gary, can you see Gary?
Wow. Yes, that's before. We just have to, can you go to the left a little bit and go up? No. go back a little bit.
I can't
Yeah,
see what
perfect,
I'm-
perfect. Now it's good. Now it's good.
Okay, there you go. So this is Gary before, and this is Gary after. Can you see how thicker his hair is and how dark it is? This is the front. Do you see the front right here? This is the front. See his glasses?
Wow.
Yeah. So his hair is now dark, thick, and full. He said his eyebrows started turning black right away. You know, he'd go to his hairdresser to do his little eyebrows, and she's like, "Oh, they're black now." So it can definitely help with growing hair, thickening hair, and turning the hair color back. I remember one of the first Zooms I was on last year. There was a man, a Vietnam vet, and he was saying, now I have a black mustache. My mustache has been gray for 15 years and now it's black. So it was funny. I remember that. It was so cute. But yeah, it can definitely help with that, Kenny.
That's great.
We
Very
do have
interesting.
one more question in the
Yeah.
chat. Hannah is asking, a young person in his 30s, what is the patch for focus?
Yeah, that's a great question. So, you know, you could do a couple different things. So, I mean, focus means different things to different people. So energy, focus, concentration, mental clarity, X39. You could also use, depending on what's going on with you, just the Eon. Eon helps put your body in a very calm, relaxed state. So maybe sometimes there's focus issues because of too much going on, monkey mind, I can't concentrate, or I'm go, 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 and that, you know, sympathetic state. Maybe that would be beneficial for focus, or maybe it's just energy enhancer. Energy enhancer helps with a sustained stamina, endurance, energy in your day. And so keeping you on track, that may be something that works for you too. I would try different ones and see what works. You know, what works for one may be different for the others, because we're all wired differently. You know, think about a cup of coffee. I have a cup of coffee and I could go to sleep. My husband has a cup of coffee and he's bouncing off the walls. I'm like, what is it in your brain that's different than mine? You know, I'm like, bedtime. Sure, no, I don't have coffee before bedtime, but I could. It doesn't affect me that way, but it does him. So those would be three that I would try for focus. Patch for depression, bipolar, anger. Woo, yeah. So we have a bliss patch. It's called Nirvana. Nirvana is an incredible patch, and it is specifically designed to be a mood enhancer, mood stabilizer, and balancer. So it works with the neurotransmitters and the neurohormones in the brain. So it will definitely help 100% with depression, anxiety, stress, worry, fear, all those detrimental emotions, right? Nirvana does have a pill that comes with it if you choose to. So the patch works 100% by itself. You can put it on 15 minutes later, you can tell a difference. It increases the beta endorphins in the body, but when you use the pill as well too, the supplement, you can feel the difference with it, with that calm, relaxed. I have a lot of young people in their 30s that use it and say, man, I can just, like, I'm not worried about what's going on out there. I'm not comparing myself to other people. Things that other people say don't bother me anymore. This used to get to me, now it doesn't. And so, you know, there can be a lot out there going on, but yeah, Nirvana can definitely help with people overcoming addictions. We actually have a addiction protocol we can share with you too, Lisa. But using the patch and the supplement together with Nirvana increases your beta endorphins by 20 to 30 times more powerful than even morphine, right? As far as a painkiller. So it's definitely something that increases these happy feelings and emotions and chemicals inside of you. So definitely Nirvana would be fantastic for depression, bipolar, anger issues. I would also use the Eon. Eon puts the body in the calm, parasympathetic, relaxed state. We call it our happy patch. So Nirvana is the bliss patch, Eon's the happy patch. So I would play around with that. You can definitely use both of those together, of course. So, and I would 100% get on that X39. I have a lady, she's 67, and she started using the patch back in, let me show you this. Back in December. You guys are going to flip your mind out. Look at this.
Wow. And she said she was not wearing any makeup except mascara. So that's that glow is her own skin.
Yeah, mascara and a little bit of lipstick.
Yeah.
So
I'll take that.
Do what?
I'd like that, please.
I'll take that. That was December until a few days ago. And so obviously her hair, is a different color now. She has helped with the color of her hair. It didn't turn back all that color. It was on its way back to its normal kind of like a strawberry blonde color. But then she's like, I'm just going to go all the way. It was a weird silvery gray strawberry color. Anyways, she said within the first few days of using the patch, she deals with depression issues. She has a son that's been suicidal for a very long time. And so depending on his days, her days, whatnot, she said after a few days, she felt like actually doing her laundry. She said, I felt like getting up and doing something. I actually decided to take the dog for a walk. She said, I could tell something mentally was changing in just a few days and I didn't know what it was, but I could tell that things were different just from the X39. So know the power of that mentally and emotionally, as well as physically. As far as heart issues and circulation, I would 100% use the X39 and Eon and carnosine. Carnosine, like I said earlier, is an antioxidant that loves to hang out in the heart. It loves to work to repair the heart. Heart's your biggest muscle, right? And so it loves the muscular system, loves the brain, right? It's really good for the brain as well too. But then of course the studies are also showing X49 is really good for the heart. So that's being our most recent patch. I have to always remember that it's just been out for the last 6 months now. So the patches have an expiration date. So they don't technically have an expiration date. There's not one on the package. If you leave them outside in the sun in your car, they're not going to be effective. So make sure you keep them in at room temperature and do not put them on your body all at one time or have them, some people put them in their pockets. Do not put them in your pockets. Make sure you're using one of each one at a time, right? But as far as expiration date, typically, technically, according to David, around that 2-year mark is about where they may start to lose a little bit of their potency. So it's not like I buy them on this date and I only have until this date to use them. As long as you keep them inside of your house, you're good to go, but typically around that 2-year mark.
Stacy, you missed 3 questions before that from Beta. She says, is there a patch to help with depression?
Yeah, I got that.
You got that. And Lisa and Hilda.
Oh yeah. Anger issues, bipolar, depression, addictions, heart issues, circulation, expiration date. I'm on to, does the patch increase testosterone for more energy? Okay, did I miss anything besides that? We're good.
Perfect.
Okay, patch increased testosterone. So we do not have a patch that increases testosterone. So as far as the hormones go, looking at the hormones in the body, bringing the body into balance obviously is going to help bring the hormones into balance. We do have clinical studies with the SP6, with the endocrine system, and also with the Alavida, working on the hormones in the endocrine system and the organs in the body. So those would be patches that you could utilize. Not going to say there's a patch that's going to increase your testosterone level though. If you want to get into testosterone, depending on what your conversation may go for that, I'll just share this with you guys just because this is what David says. This is what people usually think of with testosterone. Sex drive, right? So David nicknamed X39 Sex 39. So that will help with your sex drive. Mel and I had a conversation with a man a couple weeks ago about that. That was his main concern. And so that, and then carnosine. We have a lot of people that report that their spouses are have an increased sex drive using the carnosine as well too. We had one lady come on and say she only allows her husband to use it 3 times a week. Even though his heart could use it daily, she's not allowing it. So kind of funny, but we've had a lot of men come on and share their personal testimonials with using the X39 because of their low libido and drive. So typically that's what you talk about for testosterone. Maybe you're talking about testosterone for building muscle and things like that. And then we would look at X39, X49 combo, of course. Best place to put Eon on for depression. You can put, again, they're all working systemically. I would try it on the back of the neck or below the belly button. If you need to, stick it right in the center of your forehead. You can do that. Put it on right here, but at bedtime and go to sleep, right? You can absolutely do that. As far as Alzheimer's, definitely, again, X39, Eon, carnosine, for sure. Glutathione, right? There's probably some serious toxins in the body. So I would use those patches. And then can you not use X39 and gluon at the time? Oh yeah, you can, of course you can use them at the same time. You can put all the patches on at the same time. I could literally have every patch on right now, except for Silent Nights and Alavita, because those two must be used at bedtime while you are sleeping. The other 10 patches, except for I'm not a horse, so I wouldn't use AccuLife, but the other 9 patches you could stick on all the same time during the day. And I have before. I remember the first time I met David, he had some patches that were in trial that he wouldn't tell us what they were, but somebody asked how many can you wear at one time, and he said, well, I have 12 on right now. So he's kind of one of those, he's a superhero adventure nerd. He loves, all the bionic man. That's kind of where his inspiration came from as a child, being superhuman. So I'm like, well, if that man's doing it and he's been doing it for the last 17 plus years and he's 58 and he looks like he's 38. He said his testosterone level, God, I should go back to my notes and look that up now that I forgot about that. That was a year ago. I may or may not have forgot about everything he said a year ago. He was talking about his testosterone level. What was normal? A typical male is what? What should it be? Like his was a way above typical normal male testosterone. Like he had a testosterone of like an 18 or 20-year-old. It was crazy. But anyway, I can't remember the logistics of that because to me, I'm like, nah, I'm not a man, testosterone. I need it, but it's not like as important for men. So any other questions you guys have before we hop off here today? I know we've got a couple minutes left. Anything else we can help you with?
Yeah, this is Lisa. I was just gonna ask, Hilda was really like just kind of like brand new. She hasn't even ordered yet. We thought we'd have a little bit more information for her. Is there like a recorded video that goes through the products and each of their benefits that we can send to her?
So we will send you, and Lisa, you may have this already, the patch summary sheet that gives a summary of every patch, kind of like a blurb of each one. Do you have the LifeWave In Touch app, Lisa?
I haven't got it on my phone yet. I have to figure out how to do that. So.
Okay, go to your app store or Google Play, whichever one you have, and download the app. You'll have to input your information, right? Your ID number. But you can send her a video of every single patch from that app.
Perfect. Okay, perfect. Then that'll help me. Thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome. As far as increasing estrogen, Joanne, no. The way these patches work are to balance the hormones, to balance the tissues, the cells, the peptides, the everything in the body is all about balance. So it's not going to increase something out of whack or decrease something where it's not performing correctly, right? It's all about putting things into balance. So not going to increase it to where your estrogen level is high and it's causing, negative side effects. No. Good question though. But because I'm sure you asked because of the testosterone, right? David talked about his testosterone being nice and elevated in a good way. So again, what would be beneficial for the body to be vital and vibrant and healthy, right? So putting that into balance. And when you look at men, they want a really nice high level of testosterone, right? They want that testosterone to be in check. And so that's really important. And women, on the same hand, we want our hormones in balance. We want to feel good. We want those things in the right, numbers per se, right area, so that we feel vibrant and vital and full of life. And so that's what the patches are going to do. They're going to bring that into balance. So
yeah, I ask also because a lot of people have breast cancer and things like that, and they don't want an increase in estrogen. They're trying to get rid of the estrogen. So
yeah, that's a great question. No, it's not going to increase your estrogen and cause any kind of breast cancer. No.
I do have kind of a testimony though.
Go for it.
cutting my grass. I'll turn on my video so you can see me. So I have about 3 acres that I cut, and I was cutting grass for like 5 hours. I should have been burnt. And I was like, why did I not get any sun? I don't understand it. Well, if you wear the Aeon underneath your belly button, you won't get sunburned. I was blown away. I saw that in the book that I was like, well, I've been wearing the Aeon patch for 7 days now, not, 12 hours on, 12 hours off, and the X39, and I didn't get sunburned. It was amazing.
Are you talking about this one?
I am talking about that book. There is a protocol in there for sunburn. And I was like, and I couldn't believe it because normally I would have been really red. I mean, I'm dark anyway, because I'm Native American, but I was not burnt. I was not red.
That's fantastic to hear. I love it.
And I was pretty blown away.
Right here.
I had
awesome.
the carnosine, the Aeon, and the X39 on. Yes.
Sunburn prevention. It says glutathione below the belly button to for 24 to 48 hours before sun exposure.
Yeah.
And if you do happen to get any type of sun exposure discomfort, then aloe vera immediately on top of the skin.
Yeah, I was blown away.
I love it.
I love that book. That's an awesome book.
Right.
It is.
Yes. Yes.
That's amazing.
Wonderful. All right. Well, thank you guys for being on here tonight. I appreciate all of you being here. If you have any other questions, of course, you can just type them below or send us messages. Dr. Mel and I are more than happy to help, as well as the other people that are in here as well, too, as practitioners working to help you guys help your clients have the best quality of life.
Yes.
So thank you
Thank
guys.
you. Thank you.
You're welcome. You guys have a great
Thank you so
evening.
much.
And
Have a
this
good
will be,
evening.
this is being recorded. How do we get a link?
It is recorded, and I'm going to stop the recording here in just a second. And then what it will do, we'll upload onto my computer. Once I get it on my computer, it's converting. Once it's converted, then I will upload it to my YouTube, and I'll share the link with you.
Thank you so much.
So just
Have a
give me
wonderful
a hot
evening.
second.